All right, now this is where things get a little crazy. Uh, Extreme Rules match: Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Now it's not crazy from the idea of it being an Extreme Rules match because, as we've gone over multiple times, that's just no disqualifications, which I hate. Uh, I don't know why they can't just call it no disqualification match, but then again, I'm pretty logical. The match starts off, and what are we, like 20 seconds into it? Cena's gushing blood from his head.
At
Yep.
most 20 seconds.
Immediately, Lesnar just goes crazy. And, I mean, we were into this match in theory, but when that happened, everybody that was watching it at Ace's house was immediately hooked onto it. And I got to give them credit for that. If they planned for that to happen the way that it went, then bravo, because we were completely sucked in. And this started a lot of arguments between a friend of ours, Chuck, and uh, a whole thing about Lesnar's a douchebag, and we were actually kind of rooting for Cena in this whole match. We went right into buying into the whole kayfabe thing and hoping that Cena would win. Although we were kind of leaning towards the end of let's hope Cena wins because Lesnar might be kind of doing this as a dick. So we're not doing it as like the kayfabe. Uh, we are pro Cena. Let's all cheer and have him win every kind of a match. It was more let's get the WWE guy to win instead of the USC guy. But yeah, crazy match. I'm gonna hit some bullet points as we go along, but let's just start talking, I guess. What were you guys thinking when the whole thing first happened with Cena gushing out blood?
I was watching it and I was just like, what the fuck? Literally. Watching him just bust Cena open and beat the living shit out of him. Because literally his match was one sided to begin with. Cena tried to fight back, but it had me rooting for Cena. I
Yeah.
think the only way they could have done it, is make him seem like the underdog. Sorry, Chris, I disturbed you there.
Oh, it's okay. I was rooting for Cena also. I was one of the people who immediately was thinking in a with a PG rating, they're not allowed to actually show the blood. I was immediately thinking Brock Lesnar did it on purpose. Brock Lesnar actually hurt the guy, so I was immediately sucked in. So if this was something that was planned, then that's the best thing they've done all year.
Certainly better than WrestleMania was. uh, my theory about the Cena versus Lesnar, who to choose for to win the match, I I naturally assumed that there was no chance that Brock Lesnar was going to lose this. I'm glad that I'm wrong because I don't want to see Lesnar just get the push of a lifetime because he's popular. I don't know if necessarily it's good that they had him lose his first match. They need to kind of make up for it. But when they started this off and they had Cena in such a low spot, I was thinking to myself, well, either Lesnar is doing this out of like spite or he wants to just prove that he's like a badass or something like that, or they're planning this and they're making it to kind of get along the lines of Lesnar is untouchable, and let's build him up to do the streak. But Cena winning, I think, goes a long way in the sense that Lesnar can make up the whole he lost while he's still kind of a badass thing by just having him. I mean, they had him destroy Triple H and everything like that. Cena, though, is the one that's in dire need to make up the chance. And it was working for this because of what you were saying, like how they had to have him be the underdog, and they had to actually have him be the underdog in both reality and kayfabe, because the reality of it was getting us into it, and the kayfabe was obviously getting the kids. So they top notch work with that. I didn't like how it ended with the typical John Cena just hits the attitude adjustment out of nowhere, but I really honestly can't think of how I would have ended it myself. Um, I don't know. One of the best things that anybody commented there was a friend of ours, Vic, who you might remember him from the Best and Worst Awards show right here at Smark Moment. Uh, he was saying that if John Cena is Superman, then Brock Lesnar is Doomsday, which was, I think, perfect.
I
Uh,
agree because he literally he literally destroyed Cena. Throughout the entire match, it was literally Lesnar all the way until Cena sort of managed to fight back. And it was an amazing, amazing match. It was the first time I literally sat there in awe, wondering if Cena was going to win or not.
yeah, this had the type of effect that I thought Rock and Cena should have had,
Yeah,
and they
definitely.
completely missed out on.
Yeah,
I mean, it even had funny parts in it, like when Brock Lesnar picked up Charles Robinson by his belt and threw him into the ring.
I thought that was funny.
It's one of the funniest things that Robinson's been involved in. Uh, and they went through like what, like 5 referees or something in this,
Yeah, because Lesnar was just destroying everybody. He was like this uncontrollable beast.
which is good because that's something different.
Yeah, because we've never seen something like that in the WWE before. To tell you the truth, we've seen like every sort of dominant heel has usually had someone behind them, or they're heelish, rather annoying type of heel who wins loads of matches and gets out by a thread. Whereas with Cena, he's legitimately beating the shit out of everybody, and
Yeah,
there's not really any way to combat against it.
and he's not getting any fans out of doing it. Well, I mean
Yeah.
he is, but you know, it's
Well, you've got
actually in a
some of the
way.
fucking nutcases who crave blood and stuff, but with Lesnar, he's literally got the whole. He's done the unthinkable. He's turned the WWE universe that used to be sitting there shitting on Cena and got them cheering for him.
Was there anybody in our whole group that was actually cheering for Lesnar after the match started?
Dane.
Maybe Dane, yeah. Well, then he
But
was
he's one
also
of
saying
those
that
that.
Bret Hart was terrible, so
There you go.
that doesn't count.
I I'm still shocked that Cena actually won the match because now with the second angle that they're going with, where it's going to be Triple H versus Lesnar, Triple H doesn't usually let himself lose very many matches, and I don't
Yeah,
see how Lesnar in a losing.
apparently that's the way they're utilizing Lesnar at the moment. They're going to get him to put over guys who, if Lesnar's going to leave the company, he's going to be putting people over.
Zack Ryder.
Well, we'll see.
Can you see him
But
trying to rough Ryder Lesnar?
yeah, that's not going to happen. But
Oh, I would laugh my ass off if it did.
it's literally something awesome, and with this matchup with Lesnar versus Cena, at least it's something different in comparison, and it was an amazing main event.
Yeah, I actually have this down as a potential match of the year right now.
Yeah,
And for those people that think that Rock and Cena should be, look at the response that Rock and Cena got after the match compared to the response that this match had. Now, I'm not talking before because that's not a fair comparison because you had, what, 3 weeks to build up this match compared to a year and a half almost for the other one.
well, let me explain something in comparison. If you look at Rock and Cena, you had people cheering for it because it had the same mystique about it as Hogan and The Rock at WrestleMania X8, but it wasn't as great in the ring chemistry wise. I felt The Rock was really stiff, didn't work properly, and the finish was cheap. Whereas Cena versus Lesnar was more physical, which the Rock and Cena should have been, and had something. It brought something different to the table, and it worked.
Well, you know what? One thing that the Habit Man was bringing up on Smark Moment that I agree with was to have Lesnar win at Extreme Rules and kind of like switch things up. And what I was saying in response to that was I don't know how they went about planning to have Cena lose against The Rock and have Cena beat Brock here. But if they had the foresight that they were going to do this Brock Lesnar thing, I would think that the thing that makes most sense to me, at least what I would do, is Cena beats The Rock and then cuts a promo on Raw saying how he's proven that he is the guy, because that was what their whole feud was about. And when he starts talking about, like, oh, The Rock put up a good fight, but I proved that I'm the man, then you have Brock Lesnar come out and say, okay, well, I've been waiting to figure out who I need to fuck up to prove my dominance in WWE. And you had Rock and Cena arguing back and forth about it. Now that I know that Cena's the man, I'm going right after Cena. And then you could have Brock beat the shit out of Cena the way that they did, and then either have Lesnar win um, through some kind of like cheap method, or even if you wanted to have him win in a normal way and have Cena have to build himself back up to beat Lesnar, kind of like the Rocky sort of thing. Or if you wanted to do the whole Taker streak thing, then people will go into it thinking Lesnar is immediately one of the high up people in the company. I think that would have made more sense than Cena losing to The Rock and then beating Lesnar,
I mean,
because of the Rock thing, nothing's come out of it. But
the
at the
way
very least, it's good that Cena won. What are you
the way
saying?
Cena lost to The Rock, it was like, okay, if he's not the number one guy, The Rock is. Let's just assume Cena's the number two guy. Now all of a sudden Lesnar comes out. I mean, why would Lesnar even want to go after the number two guy?
Hmm.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why isn't he calling out The Rock?
Exactly.
But I don't know. Maybe something happened with contracts or something. But all in all, I really liked the match a lot. And then that, of course, usurped the match of the night from the WWE Championship match. And right now, Extreme Rules in general, I gave it uh, one of the 3 count pinfall ratings, which is good, kind of like 3 stars out of 3. I think it's actually the best pay per view that's happened so far this year, and the best match of the night, and the best match of the year so far has been Lesnar versus Cena.
Yep, I have to agree with you on that one, Tony.
No disagreements here.
Alrighty, so that does it for the episode. Anything else you guys want to talk about real quick?
Yep, and I understand there's not many playthroughs that have been going up last couple of weeks, guys. I have been busy. Just started a new job, so I should be back to normal tomorrow because I've got a 3-day weekend. Woohoo! Bank holiday and all. Um, if you need to look at my articles, and for all those who have voted on May the 3rd, thank you. Literally, we've got ourselves well, not really a new mayor. Boris Johnson's just been voted in. Thank everybody that has voted. I think we've had a larger turnout. I think partly because of my Sim Politics article, and I thank everybody for that. If you want to look at any more of my articles and bits and pieces, go to www.nerdgenius. That's nerdgenius.com. And yes, I know that's not how you spell genius, but nerdgenius.com. Uh, Rewriting the book episode 2 is coming. Tony's just been a bit busy. I'm trying to sort of push him and pressure him into getting it done,
Yep,
and he
and
is
it's not
doing it.
working yet.
He is doing it. It's just me like sort of bitch slapping him into getting it done.
It'll get done.
And if any of you guys are actually interested in necrophilia, go to your local doctor and tell him that you're sick. And that's about it for me. And you can follow me on Twitter at Michael Burhan as usual. And anybody else who watches this and wants to comment, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, of course, The Nerd Genius on YouTube. And that's it from me. So I will be seeing you guys later.
Anything, Urban?
Um, Nothing on my end. Hopefully, I'll be on the show more often, though, everybody. So expect a lot of necrophilia talk.
Cool. Chris, have you got a camera, by the way? Do
Yes, I do.
you want to do a rebook?
What's that?
Do you want to do a rebook? Check out my channel. Go to check out the first episode of Rewriting the Book and let me know if you want to do one. Because
Okay.
I'm getting everybody like doing one. As long as you got a camera, you can do it. Because it'll be brilliant having you on for an episode. It means I've got another slot filled.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
He said slot, everybody. with an O.
Yes, slot.
Uh,
Yeah, guest host.
so
Yeah.
that's it
I don't mean
for
slot as in inserting something somewhere. Dirty Tony.
so that's it for episode 27, and we'll see you after the outro. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out. See you next time.
Count it out! You think this is an outro? From this day, I see clearly. This outro has come to light. Necrophilia is what this show's about. It's a chance to see some corpse. You sick fucking whores. Outro.
Oh.
Please love.
Awful, awful.